During the past 5 videos, you were introduced to the Martin County water crisis in Martin County, Kentucky. You saw how badly this affected the lives of your everyday person and their families. You have seen how economic and industrial causes have contributed to the crisis, and 2 sets of interviews that show you firsthand how those who live near Martin County are affected, and how few people actually knew about the crisis in the first place. Now, I'm here to tell you what we feel is the best way to try and fix all of the damage done to Martin County, and how to help the people as best we can. The only way to bring about change in the situation of Martin County, Kentucky, is to bring the situation to the forefront of everyone's minds in the Kentucky State Assembly. The best way to do this is to run an awareness campaign, designed to gain the attention of the Kentucky general citizens and the people who vote these people into office, and focus them into bringing the government's attention to the Martin County water quality. To show how all this is possible, I will show how certain age groups can be used in different ways to help an awareness campaign. I will also show the resources that we use to model our plan of action for the awareness campaign, as well as the main steps that are needed to be taken in an awareness campaign to get people's attention. When you look at all of the big movements made on TV in the last year, you see that the main body of support is made up of people who are in their teens to their early 20s. This is the group that will be the big driving force behind any change in the Commonwealth regarding Martin County, Kentucky. They're the easiest to turn into activists and the first group that would bring the most support to our cause, mainly using social media to promote any movement against any issue. The Truth Initiative is a great example of an organization that uses an age group on a nationwide scale. The Truth organization's goal is to end teenage smoking. When the Truth Initiative began advertising in the early 2000s, the percentage of teens who smoke dropped more than 20%, and that's a huge amount of people. The similar approach that we would take would, even if it had similar results compared to the nationwide effort, would bring a massive amount of people to our cause. The first step in my process to create an effective awareness campaign was researching how to begin a successful one. The first group that I came across is a model created by PSA Worldwide. They modeled their awareness campaign around campaigning for Native American communities and their rights. They hit on the idea that your goal should be a big issue that concerns as many people as possible, so that your goal will have a big base to draw from. The next most important thing is to decide on a feasible goal. Our goal needs to be the driving force behind what we're doing, so we need to make sure it's both realistic and inspiring to those that are involved. The next step is gathering your resources. The first thing to worry about is capital. If you can't get your movement funded, you can't get it off the ground to raise awareness, then your movement is effectively dead in the water. The best methods I found for getting the dough needed is through crowdfunding or through benefactors. Crowdfunding implies setting up a website or setting up a page on a crowdfunding website in order to get money from people who want to donate. A benefactor is more so a wealthy individual or individuals who would donate money in great sums towards the cause. The next resource you'll need is time. Do your best to make sure your meeting times are as well known as possible to anyone who might be interested in your cause. The more people, the merrier. Once you designate a specific meeting time, make sure that everyone who is deeply involved with the campaign has set aside any other possible engagements. And the more professional you are about this, the more likely you are to have a focused, driven group of people. The last but arguably most important step is gaining your support. When going into battle, kings knew who they had to fight for them, and this should be no different. Once your core group or team defines itself, you need to move forward to gaining the support of the most influential people in your area. The most important people to go for are those who are in political office, such as your state legislature or mayor. After that, your average Joe, citizen, anybody who's affected by this, and get them together. Once you have a big base of people backing you, the elected officials have no choice but to listen unless they want to get voted out of office the next term. According to a USA Today article, the easiest way to find your elected officials in your area is to look at the United States public database for elected officials. But here are the guys that are the most important for our campaign. The second to last step before starting your campaign is deciding on your audience. Who are you going to market to? Depending on your answer, your marketing will be very different. In our application, as I mentioned earlier, we're focusing more on people that are in their teens to their early to mid-20s. And eventually we're trying to hope to get their parents involved through word of mouth through them. The last step is to plan your events. Once you have your dates set up, you need to plan on what to do on them. The easiest way is to follow an action plan, knowing who, what, when, where, why, how, every time you plan an event. Using a specific plan will give a consistency and quality that will ensure your supporters will be back into every event possible. The strategy of using an awareness campaign is the best strategy for a group of people who want to bring any change in a local area. When there is a problem that would bring harm to any number of people in the community, it's best to bring everyone together in support of a change. whether that is a change in leadership or the poisoning of an entire county by dirty, contaminated water, such as Martin County. An awareness campaign is the most effective way to bring about a great change for the people affected. The first step to any awareness campaign is your big ideas. The idea is the thing that pulls everyone together and is a big force to bring about your change. The second step is getting your resources together, getting your capital through crowdfunding or benefactors, getting the support of the people and elected officials, planning to do what you want to do and who you want involved, and what events you need to throw and how to plan them. Once you have all these things done, you are ready to launch your awareness campaign.